Alright, so today is day 17 of hashtag Vita. Today I don't really have too much to say, I'm gonna be honest with you. Usually I don't, but somehow I use a lot of words to say a very little amount of things. I don't know. If you ever figure that one out, you let me know. So today really was basically the same old, so okay, a lot of people, complain about the menial kinds of tasks that we do in my career field. We do lots of boring things, and we do very tedious things, and then we do things all the time. So like some things we have to do on a repetitive, constant basis, and it's just like, oh my god. Oh my universe, I really don't want to be the one that has to do that again. Drain an oil tank in a gearbox? Come on. Hey, you get to do that. But no. A lot of these things, like, I still enjoy, even though I've done them probably dozens of times, I still enjoy doing some of it. Don't get me wrong, sometimes it gets really annoying when I really just don't feel like doing it that day, but yet I still enjoy some things. And recently I've started to get to do borescoping more often, which borescoping is basically, it uses a borescope. A borescope is a really expensive camera that is made out of like fiber optic cables, and it's really thin, and basically you put it into an engine and you look over like blades and certain areas, making sure that things are good and kosher, and that basically this engine is not going to catastrophically fail when you put it onto an aircraft and run it. Well, before that it would be a test cell to make sure it doesn't catastrophically fail and blow up at test cell. So it's basically just to make sure that it's a good engine and that it works right and that it's not deteriorating, and etc. But a lot of people really hate doing borescopes. They're like, I really don't want to put my name on that, because if something does go wrong and your name is on it, you're the first person that people are going to talk to, like, hey, I see the paperwork says you called that good. Was it really good? You didn't pencil whip it or anything, did you? Now, granted, that nobody ever does that. It always gets done to the best of our ability, but nobody likes doing it because it's just tedious and it's the same old thing. And basically, you just look at blades spin and spin and spin at a snail's pace for like at least 4 hours if you do all of them right then and there, and you take your time and you do everything the way you're supposed to. It takes at least 4 hours to do. I love it because I love being able to stick a camera into an engine and getting to inspect the inside. I find that really fun and really cool. I'm sure it will get old eventually, but for now it's really still a lot of fun. And I got to do another one today, which it's still, and I'm still fairly new to it, so I haven't gotten to do it that many times, but it's still a lot of fun for me. I wish I could explain it more, but I really can't, and unless you're a mechanic and you've worked on the engines that I work on, you really wouldn't get it anyway. And I really don't mean that in an arrogant way. It's just like if you were a doctor and I started talking in doctor words and using terminology that you have no idea about, you'd lose me. Or if you start talking in terminology that doctors use that I have no idea about, you'd lose me. So I promise it's not a haha, you're not a mechanic. Trust me, I would never use that as an insult. Being a mechanic is difficult in its own right, but if you keep at it, it's really easy to learn. It's just some people are naturally inclined for it, just like some people are naturally inclined for science. This is not my career field of choice, and it's what I chose to come in for, but it is not something I'm very good at. So maybe not good at, but I'm not naturally good at it. I have to work to get better every day, otherwise I will slack way behind everybody else, and I just wouldn't improve. I'd stagnate. So that aside, I got to do that today, and I also got to talk to you a little bit more about how I am possibly going to a different section in my workplace, which that could be a bad thing, but that could also be a really good thing, because in the military, within your career field, if there's different sections, you getting moved around to those sections is both good and bad. It's bad because, well, for me, if I go to this section, I won't be working on the engines anymore, so I won't be getting experience I need on the engine. However, it's good because it broadens your horizons. You get to learn a new set of tasks. You get to learn how to do different things, like, for example, managing programs and stuff like that, and how to do more management-based stuff, or how to work on like a trailer, or how to work on like a mini jet engine starter or something like that. Like, you get to go and you get to do other things that all contribute to the same group, and that makes you really valuable to not just the military, but to your squadron, to your flight, to anywhere that you will go in your career field. It makes you useful because you have experience on so many different things. So for me, getting to go and do a different thing will be really good, but like I said, also it will have its cons. It'll be bad as well. I'm personally looking more to the positive side because I think it'll be fun to get to go and learn something new. And on top of that, this section that I would be going to, I would have more time to start college, so it would be really good for me. Because then I could take all those Japanese classes that I keep saying I'm going to take. I'd have time to finish in-class classes so I can start taking online courses so I can actually do what I really want to study. Which, the end of this vlog is actually going to lead me into today's topic, which is have a goal. Not just a goal for tomorrow, not just a goal for next week. Have a goal in your life, like a destination, like where do you want to be in like 20 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years, 5 years, 1 year? Where do you want to be and what do you want to be doing? What do you want to be able to say to you right now? Hey buddy, you know what you're going to be doing? 20 years from now you're going to be, I don't know, a professor, or you're going to be, God, there's so many different things that you could be doing. But for me, okay, let me rewind a bit. I'm getting a little bit too far ahead of myself and I've completely lost the intro into the conversation. So today's discussion is going to be basically about having a goal in life and actually like working towards that goal. And while you're working towards that goal, you also want to actually be interested in what you're going for, because if you're not, really, what's the point? I mean, honestly, if you don't enjoy what you're going to be working towards, why would you do it? Don't screw yourself into a dead-end job. Don't screw yourself into a dead-end life. Don't look back in 40 years and be like, why did I spend all that time in college to learn how to do this when I don't even fucking, when I don't even freaking like this? This isn't something I want to learn. It's not something I wanted to learn. It's not something I want to do for the rest of my life. And then have to go back and do it all over again. Sure, you learned a valuable skill that possibly got you somewhere. But at the same time, life isn't all about getting money. You're not just working till you die. You have to enjoy this. It's not like at the end of your life you're going to be like, yeah, I made about $50 billion. What about you? I mean, I'm dying, so half of it's in the bank and it's going to stay there. Oh, universe, why are you so cruel? No. The people who are truly going to be able to let go and be happy with what they did in life when they die are the people who are like, you know, I did what I wanted to do, I kept at it, you know, like for me, I became, say, I don't know, 60 years from now, I became a professor, I teach linguistics, I have a degree in physics, hopefully theoretical or cosmology. I have a family, you know. I met the most amazing, most wonderful person in my life that means so much to me that I'm extremely happy with where I'm at, and I hope everybody else is. This meant something to me. That's what you want to be able to say in the future. You don't want to be like, ugh, why? That's the last thing I want to be saying in 40 or 50 years. Why? Why? No, I don't want... No, you won't hear me saying that. I don't believe in regretting. You can feel bad, you can regret, but I don't regret. I can't think of anything in my life that I truly regret. People will say, what about joining the military? You say all the time, you know, you'd like to be able to, you know, be going full-time to college, etc., etc. So, doesn't that mean you regret the military? No. I've learned a lot being in the military. I've become more confident as a person. I've grown as a person. I've become more mature. I've become more well-spoken, more well-rounded. I've learned so many different skills that I never thought I'd learn. I got to travel to Japan. I've lived here for 2 years, and I'm living here for just about another 2, maybe even more if I get lucky and get to extend before I get out. I've gotten to see the flight line. I've gotten to see how the military operates. I've gotten to see a jet engine in operation in Tesla. I've gotten to do so many things that I never thought I'd get to do. Do I regret it? No. The only thing I cared about, a lot of people, when you ask them, why did you enlist in the military, they'll tell you numerous different answers. Like, you will get an answer from, I have a family that I needed to, I had a family, I have a family and I need to take care of them. That is my job. I need to do this. I needed to be able to support them. So I came in for a paycheck, a steady job, not just a paycheck, but a steady one with constant, consistent pay, something that I knew would take care of them. I knew they'd be medically taken care of. I knew that they would never be hurting for food or for money or for education. I knew that I would also be able to get an education. That's one instance that people will say. Others will say, I came in to travel, I've always wanted to see the world, and you know what? The recruiter told me in the military, if you join, you get to travel to some places you never thought you'd ever see, that most people probably never will get to see. Not every day that you get to say, yeah, I was stationed in, I don't know, somewhere in the Middle East, and I got to see, I got to go to Saudi Arabia, I got to go to Israel, I got to see all these different places and meet, and a lot of them, they don't really hate anyone in the Middle East. They come back and they're like, wow, it's so different from what I thought. And people learn from getting to do and have these experiences, and they find out, wow, the world's not really so different after all. I mean, sure, people in different places act different, they talk different, they have different customs, different languages, but in the end, they're all doing the exact same thing we are. They're living their life, they're trying to find their place in life, they're trying to get to a better place in life for them and maybe for their families as well. And it's just an amazing thing. And for me, my thing before enlisting in the military, even when my dad asked me, he was like, why are you, like, I know you've been saying since you were a little kid, I want to be a jet driver. That's what I used to say as a kid. My mother won't let me forget that. I want to be a jet driver. And then instead I worked on the engines instead. Or well, we don't all get what we want, but I actually, as I've gotten older, I would prefer to be the mechanic than be the pilot. I don't think they get to fly nearly as often as they'd like, and their job is extremely stressful. I'm not sure I could handle it, so I guess I'll settle for being a mechanic. So for me, my number one thing was life experience. I felt like a burden at home, even though I probably wasn't, but I couldn't find a good job. I couldn't hold a job for very long, even though, I was 19. I didn't have that many jobs. It's not like I got dropped from numerous jobs. I only went through one local place, but finding work there was really difficult, especially when, I didn't have a driver's license, etc. A lot of different personal reasons that I couldn't find a good job, but so I didn't want to be a burden on my family, not having a job, just sitting at home. I felt like I was stagnating because I had been out of school for way too long, so I wasn't learning anything new, and for me that's terrible. Like, I have to be learning something new all the time, whether it's reading, whether it's watching a video, whether it's talking to people and learning something from them. I have to always be learning something. I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, I'll admit it, I'll own up to it. I'm a dork, oh well. But I wanted life experience, any kind of life experience, getting out and seeing the world, meeting new people. I just wanted to see and do. That's all I wanted. I wanted to grow as a person, and for me, the military has done exactly what I wanted it to do. So, leading on that, I'm going to continue on into the discussion, which is have a goal in life. I've kind of already touched a little bit on it, but honestly, on a very rudimentary level, where do you want to be in the future? What do you want to finish with? What do you want to have in 20 years' time? What do you want? Like, for me, I would really like to have a degree in linguistics. Cognitive science would be pretty interesting, but I think that would be a bit too in-depth for me, as I would prefer to study mostly language, how it evolves in the psyche, whether we all have innate linguistic grammar for our languages built into us as children, or whether it forms over time after hearing natural speakers and growing up with that language, whether that's where, because grammar is very, very, it's a mystery. Nobody knows why we agree with some parts of grammar and disagree with others, whereas in other languages, those types of grammatical structures are entirely acceptable, whereas the ones we hold acceptable are entirely unacceptable. It's really fascinating, at least to me. So I want a degree in linguistics and to learn about that and study universal grammar and all these different things. But I also love space and science, so I'd love to have a degree in theoretical physics or cosmology. Maybe I'll settle for a lesser physics, because I don't know that I have what it takes for astrophysics, cosmology, theoretical physics. That takes a lot of dedication and a lot of time. We'll see though. So I have a goal in life, an educational goal. So you should have an educational goal. That's a big one. A career goal. For me, that falls in line, because I love pedagogy. I love teaching. I love helping someone else come to the same conclusion that I did, or even to their own conclusion, but using the same evidence. I love being able to help people figure something out. I don't know why, I always have. Especially since I've become more confident as a person since live streaming and getting into YouTube. It's become something that I really, really enjoy. And I want to continue to help people in that regard through linguistics or physics of some sort. So eventually I'll get there, hopefully. Travel. I would like to be able to say that I visited at least a couple of foreign nations. I want to go to Australia, I want to go to Switzerland, I would like to go to a couple of Scandinavian nations, and some other places. I'd like to be able to speak at least 2 languages fluently other than English. Probably German. And I'm still debating on a second one, but I think Polish would be really fun to learn. I don't know why. Maybe Russian. Maybe French. Japanese, Korean. I don't know. I'm a big language nerd. Y'all know that. I speak a little of at least 20. Very little in each one, but just enough to kind of understand the basics. This video is getting way too long, so I need to start cutting it short. But yeah, so honestly, just have a goal in life, and it's not even just about having a goal. I mean, having a goal makes life more meaningful, because I know that I'm not the first person to say this, and I wish I knew the name of the man who said it first, but you give life meaning. Life doesn't just come with, hey, this is your purpose. No, you have to give it your own purpose. What are you going to leave behind? That's what gives your life purpose. For me, teaching, helping people, meeting new people, getting to see new things, experiencing, and specifically learning. Knowledge is the most important thing to me, other than helping people, which I guess they're kind of equal, because as a personal thing, knowledge is the most important thing. But as a fellow citizen and a fellow person of the world, helping people. So the point is moot. But it's not just about having a goal, it's also actually feeling that purpose and actually wanting it and trying for it. You have to fail it. It's like, why do something if you don't want to do it? There's no reason to it. So if you feel like life has no meaning, you need to find a meaning and give it meaning so that you can actually enjoy life. Because life, honestly, if you have no goal, you don't get enjoyment out of doing anything, are you really enjoying life? Do you really even care about life if you don't? I've been there before. I've been to the point where I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm at. I'm bored. I could say that, I'm bored. And then nothing came of it. I wasn't happy. I mean, I wasn't necessarily sad. I was probably in between, closer to apathetic, but it wasn't a good place to be until I found languages. Languages at about the age of 13, I realized I saw a movie on Netflix in Chinese and I was like, whoa, that is so cool. Like, I knew there were other languages. I've studied a little bit of German, but it never really clicked, and I was like, there are entire worlds out there that we have no idea about. Like, we as individuals, we as a nation, and we as nations know that there are other languages and other nations and other people out there. But we as individuals tend to forget that there are languages that exist and people that exist outside of ourselves. Like, There are people who speak in an entirely another language and that hold entirely different values and customs. And to me, that was crazy. I loved it. But that's me. You need to find that one thing that is for you, something that you really enjoy, that brings you happiness, that makes you want to do better, that makes you want to become a better person. These are all things that are very important if you want to have a meaningful and lead a successful life. Honestly, that's all you need. But so, I won't talk your ear off anymore, but you know there will be more videos, and the next videos will be, I wish I could plan these out better, but doing a video every day is really difficult to plan out, because on top of a job I don't have time to really outline what I'm going to say. So a lot of this is shooting from the hip and basically just my ideas. I find that is a good thing, because then you're getting the true honest opinion. You're not getting the, yeah, they'll like that, yeah, let's throw that in there, they're going to like that. No, you just get I take a little bit of notes beforehand, this is a good point, this is what I like, this is the main point, and that's kind of what I touch on. And I hope that y'all enjoy that, and I hope that these really aren't too long for you. But anyway, I will be back, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye. Oh, wait, no. Hold that, don't hit the next button yet. Comments for me on YouTube are not working at the moment for some reason. I see them, but I'm not getting notifications for them. I'm only getting notifications in emails. So I used to get notifications on YouTube. I'm not sure what happened. So if you leave a comment and it takes me forever to respond or notice it, I'm really sorry, but that's because I'm not getting notifications and I have no idea why. I'm trying to fix that, but for now, if you've left a comment, please don't get mad. I'm also trying to figure out how to open messages. I had no idea YouTube had a messenger. Or not really a messenger, but where you could message other YouTubers. Yeah, that would make it a messenger. Anyway, or a messenger. Messenger. That's a topic for another day. Anyway, bye! Wrong button.